Okay, welcome to Ninja Monkey, everyone. I'm Nathan. Happy Sunday, happy Monday, or happy whatever time it is. Don't forget that this is a live stream where I try to answer some of your Japan related questions regarding traveling the country using trains and anything in between. Not only am I here to try to help, but we have an awesome community of people who are likely in the chat that can also help you. Don't forget that if you do want to support me, you can, support me with a super chat or a patron or a donation, and I will get to those people who send super chats or who are patrons, who are members. First, they'll have my priority. But if not, just remember to write at Ninja Monkey Guy or write question just to get my attention so that I know that is a question. And as always, let's start off by letting us know where you're watching from, what the time is. I want to know that kind of thing. Yo, another stream indeed. It is another stream. Very exciting to be here. Thanks. Lord McGray, anybody here? Well, I'm here. I think that there's a few people here. Not too bad. And slowly people are coming into the chat. Turning a little bit earlier than normal, actually. Hello, everyone. Hello, Tommy. Monkey gang, 7 days to go. That is pretty awesome. 1 week is nothing, really. Nothing at all. Girl Wander Down Under, how you doing? Nice to hear today. Also, good evening, Japanholics. Hope we are all doing well. I think those who are going to Japan sooner rather than later are doing better. While those that are in Japan are doing better. Anyway. Good evening, Gerald. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, Lord McGray. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, may the 4th be with you too. I said I was going to practice. I'm not going to lie, but I haven't practiced. Let's see what this... Thanks for the super chat. Arigatou gozaimasu. I'm gonna try and learn some of the Yamanote line melodies that I can play as a thank you to anybody who supports. Much appreciated, dude. Hello there, how are you doing? Awesome. No question there, just a kampai. Let me do a kampai. Kampai, kampai, Coco Zero. Mm-mm-mm. Hey all from sunny and warm El Paso, Texas, USA. Hey Jesse. Nice and sunny, nice and warm. Logan's Ran, how you doing? Jennifer, 4 weeks for you to go. That's so exciting, dude. Wow. Good morning. Oh, good morning. It's good evening here. It's actually what's the time now? Oh, what's happened to the I'm using my DJI for some reason. Every now and then it decides to not quite work, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. Jamie or Jaime? Bojo is here. 1:35 in mountain time zone. I don't know what mountain time zone is. I only know GMT, European time. But Chicago 2:30. I mean, I love the fact that you guys are watching me in the beginning of your afternoon, because that, in my opinion, is one of the best times of the day. On a Sunday, you know, or late morning, sort of like lunch, sort of like early afternoon is like the best time on a Sunday. Ooh, London, UK, 8:35. It's 9:35 or 9:38 here now. I'm at a Napoli restaurant in a gas station. What the heck, in Fort Worth, Texas, 2:36 p.m. there. Wow, that's a very random place to be, Bojo. You do seem to travel a lot. Sydney, 5:35 a.m. Go Wander Down Under. What are you doing up so early? What? Happy Midori no hi. No hi? Go. My next trip is to Fukuoka in October. Any suggestions what to see or do, except for, of course, visiting Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Well, first of all, Fukuoka is a great city, and I totally recommend that you check out Hakata. Are you saying Hakata? And definitely try and get yourself some epic ramen. Some of the best, no, the best ramen I've ever had was in Fukuoka. Um, there is one very unique place. Let me see if I can remember. It's in Osaka. Let's see. There's a really impressive, amazing Inari shrine, which is actually in Saga, and it's got sort of like a torii sort of a torii tunnel, sort of like thing, and it sort of feels a little bit between Kiyomizu-dera, a mixture between Kiyomizu-dera and Fushimi Inari. It's kind of a unique place that I totally recommend that check out. You check out my Saga video that I did last year. Maybe it's on my Happy Guiding channel. By the way, I do have a second channel if you didn't know. You'll get some information there. Ninja Monkey does well, he's a ninja, right? So he has to vanish every now and then. Hiroshima is beautiful. For some good food, have okonomiyaki in Okonomimura. Indeed, definitely. Obviously, if you're gonna be in that area, Hiroshima is a great place. Miyajima. I'm actually gonna be staying in Miyajima for a night when I am in Japan in the summer. I'm so excited. It's one of those places that I've been to quite a few times now. I'd say that I've been to Miyajima 4 times. Maybe this is my 4th time. And every time I've been, I've always said to myself, I should have stayed the night. I should have stayed the night. And this time I'm staying the night. Eat lots of Hakata ramen in Fukuoka. Indeed, I agree with that. Jeff, hello from very rainy New York City, 3:40 p.m. Seriously, rainy New York. I've been to New York once. It was lovely. I had a great time. It didn't rain. The weather was perfect. This is the local place for you. Awesome. Are mosquitoes an issue in Tokyo and Kyoto going the end of May? Mosquitoes are usually more like a summer thing, but basically what happens, I mean, this is like the life cycle of a mosquito, I guess. If what happens is it rains, mosquitoes usually sort of like lay their eggs in water, and basically that's when the mosquito sort of like I mean, this is my understanding of the life cycle of a mosquito. um, but usually mosquitoes will sort of arrive around the summer after the rainy season, my understanding is. But I've always had issues with mosquitoes when I'm traveling in Japan in the summer, especially when I'm going to more rural places. Hey there, man with no life, how are you doing? Oh, wait a minute! Nightbot is back! Nightbot is back! Are you if you like craft beer, I can recommend Fukuoka Craft. I love craft beer, and I usually, actually, more recently in the last 2 years, I've usually go to some kind of a craft beer location wherever I am in any city. It's a great way of also getting to meet locals, because I think that craft beer locations, they okay, this is like me, like coming up with something that I've just thought about now, thanks to this comment, and that is that I feel that craft beer, like breweries, they they usually attract like locals from the area, and those sort of locals are more open. Maybe I'm wrong, but from my experience, those locals are usually more open to talking to foreigners, and are a little bit more chatty. I think that people that are into craft beers are a little bit more open, and yeah, that's my tip for today. If you want to like talk to locals and you're sort of traveling to areas that are not necessarily Tokyo or any of the main cities, then going to a craft beer place is actually a pretty good tip. Every single time I've gone to, like, in Miyazaki, when I'm in Fukuoka, or wherever I am, and I go to a craft beer place, I went to one in Oita. There's always locals, usually not really too many tourists, and because the tourists usually want to go to the normal izakayas, and yeah, and they're usually very open, I guess. Abhishek. I'm probably not saying your name very well, but I'll try. Ninja Monkey, any advice on what to wear while climbing Mount Fuji? Kind of worried about mosquitoes this summer. Mount Fuji, I don't think you need to have much of an issue with Mount Fuji with mosquitoes. I've climbed it once. I'm never climbing it again, I don't think. But from my experience climbing Mount Fuji, I have a video, a very old video of me climbing Mount Fuji. But my experience of climbing Mount Fuji was I actually rented my clothes. I went through like a tour operator who organized everything for me. They picked me up from Shinjuku. They took me to Mount Fuji. They got my shoes. They got my clothes. I rented everything with them. And it was the best thing I did, really, because it meant that I didn't have to worry about exactly what you're worrying about now. What my experience is that it gets chilly. It starts off in the summer. It starts off hot, maybe the first 2 hours, and then it starts getting colder and colder and colder. And as you get to the nighttime, it gets very, very, very cold. The cabin where I stayed, they had some like jackets and things that you could rent in the actual cabin. So I'm not very sure what it would be like for you. I do highly recommend, and I think that now the rules state that really you should be staying at a cabin. But that was my experience, and my experience was from 2016, so 9 years ago. Things have probably changed since then. I think I get the vibe you're trying to convey with craft beer people. Yeah, Tommy, you know what I mean? I don't know, just people who like craft beer or who go to craft beer places, they are more open, they're more open to trying different things, and therefore they attract a certain clientele, and those people are the people that are more open to talking, I think. Craft beer people are always talkative. You see, I've just stumbled upon this thought. There's so many craft beer places here in the UK. Yeah, I think that I've just thought about this today. Like, this is why I love this sort of like back and forth chat, because you asked me about craft beers, or you said something about craft beers, and it sort of got me thinking. And I think that you're 100% right, that people who go to craft beer places are definitely more talkative. So that's so true, Nathan. Always nice people at craft beer places. And not only that, but it's also a really good talking point. Like, what beer are you having? I'm having this beer. Like, this beer is really nice. Or, oh, I prefer this beer to this beer. So landing in Kansai Airport, deciding between taking the Haruka train versus the limousine bus to Kyoto Station. Any thoughts? Can I just buy a ticket on the day, May the 21st? When it comes to train tickets and limo buses, really, generally, yes, you can get things on the day. But when it comes limo buses, I would suggest that you try to book in advance if you can. It's a little bit more tricky. Trains, I don't think you need to worry about. There's always more, multiple trains going in. Me personally, I think the limo bus is very, very, very convenient, and if it gets close to your hotel, then you're a winner, really. I don't have much experience of the limousine bus to Kyoto from Kansai Airport, but I do have experience from Tokyo airports, and it's always been a very positive experience. Especially, I think when I use the limo bus is usually when I go from from Tokyo to the airports. That's when I like to use my limousine buses. Dress warmly for Mount Fuji. It's chilly at the top, even in summer. It's freaking cold. Like, when I was there, when I did it, I remember there was even patches of snow and stuff. Layer up. Hey, Epsy Dawn, how are you doing? Nice to see you here in the chat. I'm about to go to Japan in a few days. Any underlooked spots in Kyoto to avoid the crowds? Epsy Dawn, I mean, that is a really good question, and it's funny because I'm going to be going to Japan to Kyoto in the summer, and that is one of the things I'm planning on researching, and I'm planning on highlighting in a future video. I've done a series of less visited places in Tokyo. I've done two different videos, and I'm working on a third one. And I want to do the same thing for basically Kyoto and Osaka, or Kyoto, like less. So I want to be totally honest with you. Um, I don't know too much about Kyoto. I, as you could tell with my videos, when I do get into like the research part of it, I really dive deep into the place. Unfortunately, that video is probably going to be a little bit late for you, but hopefully there's people in the chat here that can give you some awesome tips. Oh dude, thank you so much, Japan. Thank you for another stream, Ninja Monkey, sending some love from the strangely sunny Greater Manchester. P.S. Michaela and the girls say hi. Hey girls, how you doing, girls? I miss you. It was so nice having that Hawaiian. I met up with Japan Ichiban and his gorgeous family. Such lovely girls, including the mother. And we had some Hawaiian burgers. And I tell you something, that Hawaiian burger was freaking good. The pineapple in the middle was, yeah. People freak out with pineapple on pizza. So I'm guessing people would freak out with pineapple in a burger, right? Limo bus for me has been most convenient for the return trip to the airport. Yeah, like me. I just feel this is me. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a different type of tourist because when I when I travel to Japan, I sort of like know how to get to where I want to get to, right? More or less. But when I get to the airport, whether it's Narita or Haneda, me personally, I just want to get the quickest method to my hotel that I can get. And I'm usually when I'm getting my luggage, that's when I'm starting to look at Google Maps and starting to figure out what the best route to get to my hotel is, if that makes any sense. If it's a limousine bus, I'll get limousine bus. If it's the monorail, I'll get the monorail. If it's whatever, I will basically choose depending on when I've got my luggage and how fast I can get to the platform. uh, so yeah. But on the return it's different. The return, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave Japan. My return. So, like, the limousine bus is a great option for me. Plus, my luggage, my bags are usually heavier on the return, right? Ooh, Kurumadera, nice. Fushimi Momiyama, nice. Jesse and Go Wander Down Under. I'm going to have to write these topics, these tips. In fact, what I'm going to do, guys, is if you're not part of the Discord, then I highly recommend that you become part of the Discord. It's a great community there. We have some awesome people there that manage it much better than me. They're there answering questions, giving suggestions, and we just have a really positive community on there. But one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to my advantage. And I'd like to start a like a little discussion forum thing on Discord, asking for your suggestions of where I should highlight as lesser visited places or things to do in Kyoto and Osaka. Well, mainly Kyoto. And I'll do that soon. I'll prepare that soon. The limo bus to Kansai takes a long time as it's so far out. Yeah. Like I said, I've only flown into that airport in Osaka like twice only. Epsilon, that's all right. Some of the viewers here seem to offer suggestions, which I really appreciate. I'm sorry. At least I'm honest, right? Like I could sit here and I could just pretend, but I definitely don't want to lie. I just want to make sure that that when I get into something, I I totally become like try to become as much of an expert as I can, and that's what's going to happen in the next few weeks when I start planning my Kyoto leg of the trip. Plus, I'm hoping to reach out to some content creators that live in Kyoto so that they can also help me out. top 5 advice for first timers in Japan. Makuai, apart from Japantrip in Ichiban, given the 12 things to know before traveling to Japan, and there's so many videos out that I put, but I would say that my number one tip for traveling to Japan has to be, and I know that it's going to sound a little bit cliche, but it has to be having some kind of a pocket Wi-Fi SIM, eSIM, or whatever. And I'm just going to put it out here because I do have an affiliate link, and it does help the channel. And you know, without the funds of affiliate links and your super chats and that kind of thing, then I wouldn't be able to do this, you know, on a weekly basis and get to Japan and make all the guys and whatever. But I want to make it very clear. I've always said it. You do not need to use any of my affiliate links. If you find an offer that you're happy with, you go for what you're happy with. But if you do want to support the channel, that's one way of doing it. And it really does help a lot. From my experience, Hakone Mobile is a great option just because it's a Japanese-based SIM operator. So they specialize in Japan, unlike some of the other places that specialize worldwide. Anyway, that's Sakura Mobile. That would be one of my top tips, number one. Number two, choose, if you're going to be traveling around Japan, then you probably want to do a Tokyo sandwich, starting in Tokyo, ending in Tokyo, depending on how much time you have. Maybe 2 days in Tokyo at the beginning, or 3 days in Tokyo at the beginning, 2 days in Tokyo at the end, and fill in the rest with whatever you want to do. Number three, choose where you're going to stay quite wisely. Just because a place is popular and just because a place is you know, very much mentioned in videos, for example Shinjuku or Shibuya or Ikebukuro, or for example Akihabara, just because Akihabara I think I've said it right that time, just because those places are popular doesn't mean that you should stay in those places. You have to figure out what is going to work well for your trip. Oh, the video's got stuck again. Let me just fix that. I don't know why it's doing that. Are we back? 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 Yeah. So choose a location where you're going to stay based on your needs and what you think you're going to be traveling and checking out, rather than one specific location. You know, just because Ueno works for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. Just be, you know, that. Watch some of my videos that I put out loads of itineraries. I put out loads of like hotel locations to stay at, stuff like that. One of the biggest things I would say, I think this is number 4, would be 100%. You need to go off the beaten track. You need to, yeah, you know, like fill in your itinerary with the popular locations. They're popular for a reason because they're great, but they are going to be crowded and there's going to be a lot of tourists. So, try to fill in, I would say a good third of your trip with locations that are lesser known, lesser visited, places that are away from the Golden Triangle, away from Tokyo, away from Osaka, away from Kyoto. That will make a huge difference. Even within Tokyo, check out some of my lesser visited videos and you'll get some ideas for neighborhoods that you can explore, that have more of a local vibe, that are not overrun by tourists. In fact, you probably won't even see a tourist in some of these neighborhoods. That will be some of my top like things. I've probably forgotten a lot. You put me on the spot, but hey, that's why I'm here. Oh yeah, and Google Maps. Check travel times between locations when planning your day 5. Don't plan too much. Leave room to decompress. 100%. Norma, great. I think that's a big one there. I would say 100%. That's a big one. And in fact, I'm going to go one step further. And that is for that question, Makua, that you just asked a minute ago about the 5 things that you know that I'd recommend. Where is it, that one? But I would actually also say to learn some basic Japanese. You don't need to be fluent. You don't need to be conversational. You don't need to do the self introduction and that kind of thing. But if you can learn numbers, for example, and basic things like kore and osusume, kore meaning this and osusume meaning recommendation, it will take you, it will help a lot. I've got 2 videos that I've done with Oriental Pearl, my friend, that you can check out. If I buy the Hiroshima Nagasaki Kyushu rail pass for a few days, do I still need to get train tickets? Sorry, it may be obvious for me. You could just use the pass to ride on non-reserved trains, but since you have that pass, you'll have access to free. Again, it's got a stack. What's going on? I don't know why it's doing this, but hey, we're back, I think. I'm here, but the camera isn't here. Let's see. Preparing webcam. I've never seen that before. Right, let me... I'm here. It's just not working. The webcam decided not to work. That's weird. Okay, let me switch cameras. It's not as good, but at least you can see me. Hey. Well, this ain't good, is it? You can't see me. Hello, everyone. I know I'm upside down. I'm gonna fix that right now. And let's forget about that camera. Right. And maybe I should clean the lens. All right. Okay, we'll just go back onto this one. I don't know what's happened with my other camera, but hey, I'm here. I can just about... Let me just get all the things. Sorry, guys. Don't know what happened there, but I'm not going to faff about with that camera anymore. It's not worth it. Just want it to work, you know? 100% on Ginkakuji. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Philosopher's Path actually is a place that you should definitely check out. Hey, it's so nice to have Nightbot working, right? I always use Sakura Mobile. They have great signal and, importantly, very good English-speaking customer service. Hit the like button! Some great advice there. Well, thanks to you guys, not just me. That's a good point there that you've got also there about the Oop, there we go. You got a really good point in there about downloading the pack, the language pack. If you're more of a city person than small town, what's a good, less touristy city? Wait, if you're more of a city person than a small town, what's a good, less touristy city to visit? Morioka, Sendai, those 2 locations are pretty good. Okayama, because there's lots of day trips that you can take from there also. I'd say, yeah. Where were we? You're welcome, Makwa. It's all good. You don't need the camera. You're too ugly. Is that what you're saying? I'm joking. I did forget to make sacrifices to the YouTube gods this week. In Tokyo for two and a half days before hopping on a 12-day cruise. Skytree or Tokyo Tower? Whoa, that is a difficult one. Well, put it this way, it depends on what kind of photos you want. Ultimately, let's face it, when you go to a observation deck, it's to observe, right? So the question is, do you want pictures of Tokyo from really, really high above, or do you want pictures with the Tokyo Tower? Because if you go to the Tokyo Tower won't be in your pictures, and the Skytree is very high up. You should maybe consider some of the other options like Shibuya Sky, even the Mori Tower. Hey, Tommy Tran. Actually, I think this is my favorite beer, my favorite Japanese beer. It's just quite rare to find unless you're in Okinawa, and I wish I was in Okinawa right now. Epsy Dawn and Jesse have literally just said what I've just said right now. Crazy. Have you ever considered going to Tokyo Game Market, the game show? It's a board game convention. Happens 3 times a year in Japan, two in Tokyo and one in Osaka. You know what, Mark Ace Ramos. Um, I have quite a few different friends in Tokyo that do all sorts of content. One of them is Akasan, who does like reactions and stuff like that. And every time that there's one of these events, he usually sends me a message saying, "Hey, do you want to go to the event?" I'm actually surprised he hasn't given up on me by this point. But when I'm in Japan for such a short amount of time, for example, he sent me a message and he asked me if I wanted to go to Star Wars Celebration. He said I might even be able to get you a press pass for the event for the Star Wars Celebration. I was in Tokyo at the time of the Star Wars Celebration, but I only had it was a very short trip. It was only a week, and I sort of decided I didn't really want to spend time inside of a convention hall. Um, Even though I love Star Wars, I decided I wanted to do onsen, and that was my decision. And I feel the same way for when there's events like taking a day out to be in a convention hall. I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure. But maybe if it's in my summer trip and I have like 6 weeks in Japan and I have time to kill, then maybe. But thanks for the recommendation. Kampai, everyone. I'm considering in the next 2 or 3 weeks having to switch locations to my living room where there's air conditioning because things are starting to get warm here. Hi Nathan, hi everyone, hi Laurie, how are you doing? Azubadai Hills definitely blocks views when you are in Tokyo Tower. Yes. Hearing about all the walking you do in Japan, is it real? Oh my goodness, it's more than real. Any local products you recommend to help with foot pain or to prevent blisters? Hearing about Japanese patches. I've never had to use any of those Japanese sort of products. I feel that when it comes to walking and blisters, which do happen, um, actually I did buy some patches for some blisters once. Whether they worked or not, I can't remember. But I think that having good walking shoes or shoes that you're comfortable in and not breaking in your shoes on your trip and making sure that you break in your shoes before you get to Japan is a biggie. But ultimately, if you're traveling to like more rural areas, Inaka areas, you might find a lot of places with footbaths. And if you're walking around and you see a footbath, that is a perfect moment to have yourself a little break. Hey, yeah, believe in yourself. I've known Hiko-san on, I can't even say his name. But I've known him for a long time now. We've never met in person, but we've chatted many times in and out, so it's always nice to hop in. It's always a difficult time though, for me, because it's just after lunch and I'm usually sleeping, having my siesta. Nathan, we'll be booking our trip very soon. Laurie, awesome. Well, as always, we're here to help with whatever your needs might be. You will walk a lot, 20,000 steps. I've been doing 28 to 31,000 steps. I've literally spent the past few months walking at least 4 to 5 miles per day just to get ready walking in Japan. That's it. Well, not only is that like incredibly good for you, like for your health and your well-being, walking and getting fit, but it's also going to help you prepare for Japan. So well done, dude. Well done. Yeah, there's lots of foot massage places in Japan that you can get yourself a cheeky foot massage. I don't know how true this is, but apparently, if you wear size 13 shoes, US, it's really hard to find that size in Japan. Um, Large foot sizes in Japan is difficult. You'd have to go to probably specialty stores. There are a few, like in Ueno. Just this last trip in Ueno, I saw a store for large sizes. But you're right. If you've got large sizes, it's going to be hard to get the size that you need in Japan. Many of these places will could potentially order them in for you, but that's who wants to go to a store and get something ordered in, like, and it might take 2 or 3 days for it to arrive, right? But you're right. When it comes to that, you would need to do your research. You would need to look online and oh my goodness, I'm looking at the camera that I'm not using. Sorry, I'm looking this way now. Sorry, that must have been really weird for you guys. Don't forget a small hand towel for the foot bath. I'll tell you a secret. Well, it's a little bit embarrassing, really. But go wander down under. I think you've got make a very valid point because your feet do get wet. And what I've done in the past when I've forgotten and I don't have anything is I've used my socks to dry my feet, and then I've gone sockless for a little bit of time. Because I may not bother with shoe stores if that's the case. Um, I mean, research. If you're interested in shoes, Japan has incredible stores for shoes. But if you're interested in shoes, I'm not very sure what size 13 shoes are in the USA. So, but do a little bit of research. Go in, ask. Go to 1 or 2 stores. If you see that after the second store you're not finding what you want, then it's maybe time for you to reconsider and abort and not waste any more time ultimately, right? Clothes in Asia, if you're going up, insides usually get longer, not necessarily wider. So check especially shirt sizes and try them before. Yeah, I think that Lord McGray, you have a very, very good point there about clothes sizes. In fact, maybe that's another like, sort of tip that I would say, and that is if you are once you get to Japan and you want to do a little bit of clothes shopping, then try on a t-shirt at a store, get your Japan size, and that will help a lot. Me personally, here I am a medium. Like normally when I wear like a t-shirt in Europe, I buy a t-shirt in Europe, I'm a medium size. But when I go to Japan, I have to buy the large size, you know? But when I go to the USA, I have to buy the small size. It's one of those things. So this equivalent in the USA is small, I believe, but in Japan the equivalent is large. So you sort of need to figure out like what your Japan size is, which is kind of funny. Just booked my hotels for my November trip. Super excited to get back to Japan. Where are you going to go, Dean? What's your itinerary? Excite us. What do you suggest you must do to visit Hakone? I think Hakone Shrine is definitely a must visit. Hakone, try to get yourself to an onsen. When I went to I've been to Hakone numerous times now, but the last time I went to Hakone, I actually ended up going for a day trip. I walked a little bit around the lake. I went to Hakone Shrine, I saw the Torii gate. There was a ridiculous line. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna get, like in line for a photo like that." And then I got the bus, and I went to a really cool onsen. Like I did a little bit of research. There's lots of onsen around there. I spent like an hour or two just soaking in an onsen. There was a baseball player that started wanted to practice their English. It was fun. What do you think about Fukuoka? Fukuoka's great. I've been hearing that it's a good alternative compared to the big three cities. I think Fukuoka has its own vibe, its own thing, and it can be used as a base to get to other places around the region. I think that Kyushu, and I know that Japan is watching, and he wants to get to Kyushu. Kyushu is a little bit different. It might be very difficult to use one place as a base to go to the rest of Kyushu. You probably will need to do a little bit of traveling and staying in different locations. But Fukuoka will get you to Nagasaki quite easily. You could do Nagasaki day trip. You can do Hiroshima day trip. You could even do a Kumamoto day trip from there. But after that, Kagoshima's a little bit far. Miyazaki, forget about it. Even Oita may be a little bit difficult. Saga, you could go to Saga from Fukuoka. So Fukuoka is definitely a great location for day trips if that's what you want to do. And it's a nice city. I like Fukuoka. Size 46 EU. Wow. Size 12. Okay. Catch you guys. Have fun. Thank you, Tommy. Have you used medical travel insurance due to an emergency in Japan? How smooth was connecting Japan hospital with your insurance? Gabriel, actually today I don't have it with me, but I found the card from when I had to go to the doctor in Japan years ago. It was a clinic in Ikebukuro. I had even forgotten what it was, but it was a clinic in Ikebukuro that I went to, and basically the fee for my doctor's consultation was less than the excess that I would have had to pay the insurance. So I ended up not going and using my insurance because like with insurances, usually there's some kind of an excess that you need to pay, and they will cover the rest. In this case, the the fee for the doctor was less than the excess, so I didn't use them. Oh yeah, Hakone. There's a boat ride I've taken before. It's pretty cool. And there's also a cable car. If you want to see a view of Mount Fuji, you need to get the cable car. There's a cable car that takes you to the top, to the top of a mountain or a hill, and well, if the weather's good and the conditions are right, you'll be able to see Mount Fuji. Lord McGray, I bought a pair of Onitsuka Tiger in Japan this trip. I've been wanting a pair myself. I've been wanting a pair myself, but I've been saving my money for my big trip. I can't afford them. Cost me 110 euros due to exchange rate and being tax free compared to the list price of 180 here in Germany. Yeah, I can imagine you being happy. I'd be very happy too. I traveled second time to Japan, and funny thing that I still will visit Arima Onsen, Osaka, Kyoto, Tokyo second time. Never end trip as so much to see. It's true. Hakone is worth it. Spent 2 days in the area before Owakudani. Yeah, coexist. I agree. I think Hakone would be potentially a very nice place to stay overnight. It's like Kawaguchiko. I went to Kawaguchiko and I stayed in Kawaguchiko, which is the one of the lakes with very very famous for having a view of Mount Fuji, right? And I stayed overnight, and I'm so glad I stayed overnight because it basically meant after 5 p.m. like people disappear. All the tourists go. Like but they get the buses, they get the trains, they leave, and all of a sudden Kawaguchiko becomes quiet. The same thing would happen with Akone, and in the morning you have the whole area pretty much to yourself, and then the tourists start to arrive around 9:30, 10. So and not as many by 11 o'clock or 11 in the morning. That's when things get busy, right? Kyushu is epic. Cliff, you're gonna love it. Should I just book both hotel and flight from booking.com or go to a specific website? I mean, that's up to you. I use Expedia for my flights, and I sometimes book directly with the airline, depending on if there's an offer, not an offer, or whatever. That's what I do. And for hotels, I use a combination of booking.com or Klook, which I also have an affiliate link. So if you are gonna get like your, doesn't have to be hotels. You can even get your JR pass for Klook. You can even get train tickets for Klook. You can even get Disney staff, Universal Studio staff, Ghibli park tickets, all through Klook. And if you use my affiliate link, I'll get a small commission at no additional cost to you. So it's awesome. I'll leave that there for a little bit just in case. You see, Japan and Japan does it direct with the airline, and hotels with booking.com, yeah, similar. Am I doing a tour in Japan? I will be touring Japan again in well, I don't know what you mean by that question, but I will be touring Japan on my own um in summer. No problem. Fukuoka is great, especially like the Canal City shopping mall. Oh yeah, that's an interesting shopping mall. Um yeah, yeah, after 5 p.m. almost all closing. But that doesn't mean that you can't get all your photos, all your shots, all the things that like if you go to all the spots 5 p.m., there's still a little bit of sun and you can really enjoy, and enjoy less crowds. I've been hearing great recommendations in Shimanami Kaido as well. Wow, nice. Underrated Japanese food, in my opinion. Wow. Well, I think there's a lot of underrated Japanese food. To start with, I think that kushikatsu is totally underrated. I mean, to be honest, I like deep fat, deep fried stuff, but kushikatsu, which is like deep, which are skewers that you yeah, basically things on skewers that are deep fried. That's underrated. Um, Japanese curry, Hamburg, Hamburg also. What about you guys? What would you say is your most underrated Japanese food? How early do you start your day in Tokyo? Here, that most places don't open till 10 or 11 a.m. You're right. A lot of places don't, maybe not 10 or 11 a.m., but I think you're safe to sort of like linger around places at 9:30, 10. And when I head out, I try to head out just at the, depends what I'm going to do, but at the cusp of the rush hour. So rush hour sort of starts ending around 9, and I start getting to the station at 8:45, and I get just the end of the rush hour. Um, Also, you need to factor in, Sam, Tokyo's very big, which means that your plan to get to a place, it might take you 40 minutes, half an hour to get there. So you might need to, if you leave at 9, you won't get there till 10 anyway. So you need to also consider that. I'm a better be there earlier rather than later sort of guy. I prefer to arrive even if shops are still closed and things are still closed. You'll find a Starbucks or a Dotto or something like that, to have a coffee, and I'm the kind of person that I will do a little bit of scouting. I will have a coffee. I will walk around, check out what is interesting before things open. So we need Ninja Monkey tours, excursions. That would be cool. I mean, one of the ideas that I did have at one point is to put a little thing together, like a rural sort of like a rural inaka, like local experience in Ashikaga. That is something that could potentially happen in the future. like over the weekends, sort of like 2 nights with Ninja Monkey, where we go and we go to Ashikaga and we stay in a temple and I introduce you to my monk friend and that kind of thing. And we do some like Japanese cooking together and we pound mochi together and stuff like that. Like it's being spoken about with my friend, um, via via through her. But I love to do that in the future. I just don't think my channel's big enough to attract that sort of like audience, because you probably need a good 8 or 9 people to sign up for a tour like that. Come in July to Japan. Any space for a day or two? Alpha mate, I don't do tours, but I appreciate your vote of confidence. How do I handle Japanese summer heat? You just have to embrace it, and you just need to think, I'm in Japan. It doesn't matter about the heat. I'm in Japan. That's what matters, is that I'm in Japan, right? Oh, takoyaki, gyudon. Oh yeah, I think you might be onto something. Also, Cliff Dog, you might be onto something there. Oh yeah, Pocari Sweat has become my lifesaver recently. I have to say. Omurice. Yeah, omurice is pretty good. Mr. Ing. Yeah, I think so. Takoyaki or classic. I'm not an udon fan, surprisingly. Unagi rice balls. Actually, unagi is actually a little bit underrated. Sukiyaki? Yeah. Takoyaki? How early does Tsukiji market open? I think around 9 in the morning, or just before 9 in the morning. You want to get there for 9 in the morning for Tsukiji outer market, I'd say. Starting in Taiwan, flying to Osaka, have a few day trips like Katsuoji Temple, then off to Kyoto, finishing Tokyo. All over 2 weeks in Japan. Sounds lovely, Dean. Yeah, Japanese sounds amazing. Nightbot is working. Can we all give a like for the fact that Nightbot is working? Dibs on being the mallet guy for the mochi. And I'll be the guy that puts his hand, like in between the mallet when the mallet isn't hitting the mochi. The risky one. I was first time in August, mid in hottest times of time. Pocari drink is a must, I agree. In Osaka, I tried tokoyaki or takoyaki. I think takoyaki, no? What's the difference between tokoyaki and takoyaki? Is there a difference? Maybe the tokoyaki is something I don't know. Maybe grab one of those rechargeable handheld fans for the summer. When I went to Singapore, I just took shelter in one of the many malls. Yeah. That also another thing that I would highly recommend that you always have on you is a battery charger. I mean, the amount of times that a battery charger has actually saved me, it's crazy. Seriously, I always have a little battery charger on me. Always. Definitely want to try out the Unagi Eel restaurant. Absolutely love eel, and having the authentic stuff there would be amazing. It's interesting because eel is something that I was sort of like forced to eat because of one of my Japanese friends that sort of like forced me to try it. And boy oh boy, it was actually quite delicious. It reminded me a lot of like spare ribs. It had the texture of spare ribs. It was like, yeah, it was good. We got Tsukiji Outer Market 8 a.m. and there were plenty already open and no crowd. Yeah, I'm guessing that you're right, Cliff Dog. Things will start will probably be opening. Do convenience restock food throughout the day? Absolutely. What time of the day do things run low or out? That's a difficult question. I'm not very sure. But I would probably say, I'm guessing that by depends if it's a lunch item or not a lunch item, Really. If it's a lunch item, then you'd probably want to get there before 1. A UV umbrella. Top 3 foods for me. I think that's actually quite easy in a way. I love yakiniku. Yakiniku. I love in the summer, I'm a big fan of soba noodles. A big fan. Actually, that's underrated. Soba noodles. And the third thing would be okonomiyaki. You're really getting me really hyped for the eel restaurants. Yeah, that's what we're here for. The hype train is here. Everybody hit that like button. We have 29 likes, but we have over 40 people watching. And let's get the hype train going. I had 2 battery chargers with me at all times and recharged every night to make sure I had power for phones, pocket Wi-Fi. Hey, Wi-Fi addict. Hello, sir. I'm currently experiencing Japan for the first time. Thanks for your advice and tips flying home to the US on Sunday. Well, I am glad that you're experiencing Japan. Again, I'm looking at the wrong camera. No, don't have Wagyu in Tsukiji. Have it in a restaurant. Watch my Tsukiji market video. Can one of my mods, are you still there, Japan? Can you link for Erica my Tsukiji outer market video? It was last week's video actually, and you'll see. Don't have the Wagyu at Tsukiji. Seriously, don't. Spend your money in a restaurant. The sashimi was pretty good though. I used my large power bank exactly once this trip. Ooh. Well, once better than never. No? Or does that make sense? Hello from Poland. Hey, I'm going to Japan in October for a few weeks. 23 days. Do you have any tips for Shinkansen travel to see as much of Japan? Yeah, I mean, realistically, you could get a JR pass, but to use a JR pass to get your money's worth and to see as much as Japan as you can, you'd have to travel every day or every other day to different destinations. But it sounds to me that that's exactly like what you want to do. You want to see as much as you can, right? So you'd have to do like Tokyo to Nagoya, Nagoya to Kyoto, Kyoto to Osaka, Osaka to Hiroshima, Hiroshima to Fukuoka, Fukuoka. You know what I mean? You'd have to travel a lot. I bought one of the handheld fans, neck towel, cooling wipes. Oh my goodness, you bought a lot. Cooling spray. Bought them all at Loft. Saved me during the last trip. Affordable prices. I say this all the time, but the best cheat code for Japan without crowds was NZT. Yeah, what was that? What was NZT? Oh, New Zealand time. New Zealand time. You're probably right. If you're going to summer, wear sunscreen. Absolutely, especially if you're from an area that doesn't get sun a lot of sun. I mean, just wear sunscreen full stop. Even if you're from an area that gets a lot of sun. Is a Wagyu at all you can eat places? Where are we? Not good quality. Does A5 quality vary from restaurant to restaurant? I doubt you get A5 quality at an all you can eat Wagyu place unless you're paying like I mean A5 quality is expensive, and A5 quality will be the same everywhere. There's Wagyu and there's Wagyu basically. Just remember that Wagyu basically means Japanese bred cow, more or less. That's basically what it. There's Miyazaki Wagyu. There's Hida Wagyu. There's lots of different types of Wagyu from lots of different areas, and the A5 Kobe is yeah, It's just different. Personally, my favorite is Hida beef, or Hida Wagyu is personally my favorite. So you're royal. It's just Wagyu in Kobe. I burnt my upper calf in 2023 because I thought my legs are safe. Nothing is safe. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Sorry, I need to get rid of this camera because I keep on looking at my main camera instead of this camera that's here now. JR Pass is too expensive now. It could still be worth it. It depends how you use it. It can, if you're gonna be using it, if you have the JR Pass for 1 week and you're gonna use it 6 times, it's gonna be worth your the expense, you know. Even if you travel per 4 major cities, I don't understand. Any option on going to Osaka or Tokyo Fish Market? Why local stands saying they have Wagyu? Because for sure not Wagyu. If someone say in a local stand Kobe, that not Kobe for sure. Just because Wagyu is Wagyu. It's there's different, like I said, there's different types. They're not lying. If they say they have Wagyu, they have Wagyu. But there's different cuts of Wagyu. There's different, you know. Kobe is famous for its Wagyu. Personally, would not recommend A5 Wagyu, too fatty. For me, the A5 Wagyu is like melt in my mouth sort of Wagyu, and I love it. But I like I said, I like the Hida beef. The Hida beef is my favorite. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to when I go to Takayama in the summer. Getting up 3 hours before anything open and still sleeping in. Sounds good. Yeah, the Hokuriku Arch Pass can be worth it. I mean, I'm gonna be totally honest with you when it comes to the Hokuriku Arch Pass. I think people hype it too much. Don't kill me here. I think that it's not as good as people say it is. It's okay. You could make it work, but the fact of the matter is that you won't be able to travel between Kyoto and Tokyo, or Osaka and Tokyo, unless you take the long route, which I recommend, but not everybody wants to do that. Yeah, all Japanese beef is Wagyu. Nagoya is quite a good foodie place. It really surprised me when it came to food. My best places that I've visited overall, I would say, is Okinawa, Yakushima, Miyazaki. So all in the south, really. Hi Nathan, I noticed you have an Olympus camera. How do you find shooting Micro Four Thirds? Is it good for traveling with? Jamie, I have a secret. My Olympus camera is a prop. It's my old camera. I don't use it anymore. And I used to love it, but it wasn't good enough. Didn't have 4K at the time. And now I use it for whenever I need to do like a photo for a thumbnail and I need the camera strapped to me. I use the Olympus because I actually think that the Olympus camera, which I actually have back here, it's my old camera. I think that this Olympus camera looks pretty cool when I have to take a photo on a thumbnail. You know, it looks more like a touristy sort of camera. So yeah, guys, it's Tokyo Banana time. I have 9 Tokyo Bananas left, which means that after this Tokyo Banana, there are 9 weeks left until my trip to Japan. We're using the Tokyo Banana countdown. The Tokyo Banana countdown is what we're using now. Any restaurants you saw in Japan that made you go, oh, they have that here too. For me, it was Krispy Kreme. Ah, um, let me think. Don't know. I think that in many ways Japan is quite multinational when with those things. Right. A Tokyo Banana. If you are a member, show those Tokyo Banana emojis right now. And if you want to become a member, you can become a member by hitting the join button to get access to the emojis and support the channel. So Tokyo Banana is a sponge. By the way, this one was frozen. I've just defrosted it. That's a pro tip there. Get your Tokyo Banana and freeze them. And inside, so it's a sponge, and inside there is this delicious banana custard. This makes me happy. That's right, Roma, great. And yet, it's missing a few things. You're right. I'm not sure about the cat. I think that you can have Wagyu and it can be different cuts of the beef. Elf Mage, we have a whole Google Maps community on the Discord. Sorry. If you come to the Discord, you'll see there's a map channel with recommendations. People put down their hotel recommendations that they stayed at, food, restaurant, everything. Banana hype. Kawagoe. I think it's worth going to. It's very touristy. It's very well set. Well, maybe let me rephrase that. It's very well set up for tourists, and it gives you a really nice, like out of Tokyo, like more like traditional sort of feel. A few things that you should try in Kawagoe, if I remember right, was craft beer. They're famous for craft beer. Yeah, Cliff, obviously, it's still, I'm guessing it's still A5, but I don't know. I'm guessing that it would just be cheaper, right? The different cuts of meat are usually different prices, right? Anyway, I'm not a connoisseur of Japanese meat. Oh my god, I took a banana vending machine here. You know, project. We're gonna have a Tokyo Banana, future Tokyo Banana vending machine. Kimono rental, yeah, nice. I bought a box of imitation Tokyo Banana from Donkey, and it wasn't the same. I know. One of my friends bought. I said to them, I hope they're not watching this. I really hope they're not watching this. Okay, one of my friends went to Japan, and I helped them with a trip, itinerary, everything, like I do, and with you guys. But I met up at a coffee store, and I did the itinerary, and I said they said, oh, how can we pay you? I mean, I don't want payment. You're my friend. But if you want, I would really love it if you could bring me a box of Tokyo Banana. And they got me the fake donkey Tokyo Banana, and yeah, I learned that no, it's not the same. Do you need to rent a car to explore Tohoku and Hokkaido for 2 weeks in July? Jacob, I've explored Tohoku and I've explored Hokkaido by train in the past. Will you be able to get to different places with a car? Absolutely. Can you do it with train, with public transport? Absolutely. Does it require a lot more planning? Absolutely. When you use trains in locations that are like more off the beaten path, you need to look at the timing a lot more carefully. You need to make sure that you know how long those local trains take, etc. Some of those trains are not fast. Some of those trains, the locations might look very close on the map. You think, oh, that's going to be a 2 hour or 1.5 hour train ride, and then it ends up being like a 5 hour train ride. So you got to sort of like factor all those things in. The cat has absolutely nothing to do with the beef. With it, the beef is wagyu or not. I have no idea. No idea. one to explore further, I think, for me. The whole like wagyu thingy. Whoa. Yay! Nightbot is working. It's so much easier now, isn't it? Japan. By the way, can we all say a big congratulations to JJI, to Japan, for reaching 170,000 gazillion followers on Facebook. Awesome. Congratulations for 170,000 followers on Facebook. Well done. You can put your Facebook thingy. People can join, and it can be 170,001 people. Number one souvenir from Japan that you could take, that you can only take one, I would say. Okay, a bit weird, but Japanese slippers, like Japanese flip-flops, like the bamboo, not the bamboo, like the tatami traditional flip-flops. I use those all the time. Luma Gray knows more about Wagyu than me, for sure. Lots of domestic tourists in Kawagoe. Do I need to rent a car if I'm going to explore northern Japan? I already sort of spoke about that. You watch a lot of videos about Wagyu, why? That explains it then. Is going out of the way to spend a few days in the Japanese countryside worth it? 150,000% yes. Do it. Do it. Go out your way. Go to a little town. Onsen, even better. An onsen town. Yeah, 100%. Donkey banana. Donkey banana. Donkey banana. Japan for Thanksgiving. I know it's an American holiday, but does Japan do anything for it, or is it straight to Christmas? Actually, Your Royal Highness, I have quite a few American friends that live in Tokyo, and they go to specialist places to have Thanksgiving like meals in Tokyo. So it can be done. In Kanazawa, you can see really cool. Yeah. You'll be able to see both. You'll be able to see like samurai houses like in the old district of Kanazawa all year round, and obviously Sakura is only during the spring. How can you tell if it's good Tokyo banana? As long as it's in date and not expired, it's good Tokyo banana. If I'm going to an onsen, is there anything I need to do other than booking? Actually, there's a few things that you should consider. First of all, if you have tattoos or not tattoos, inform them. Some onsens might not be tattoo friendly. Just be aware of that. You don't want to like make a booking and then not be able to do onsen. A lot of them are. A lot of them are fine with it. Just be aware. And if not, you might have to find an alternative. That's one thing I would say. Second of all, if you want to have a a private onsen, you might have to book that in advance. But onsens are really good to stay at as accommodation. A ryokan that's connected to like an onsen town, is a great sort of like experience. I went to what onsen did I go to? You guys know better than me. To Gin, what was the onsen that I went to? For goodness sake, I'm gonna have to look at my own videos. Kusatsu. That's it. I went to Kusatsu Onsen. That town was great. I could so imagine staying 2 nights in Kusatsu Onsen. Yeah. Have I been to Piss Alley? Absolutely. And how long is it open? It's open. Omori Yokocho is open. I would say past 11 p.m. Wouldn't you say, Japan Ichiban? From lunch till late 10, 11 p.m. I mean, I've been there near the last train and things have remained open, so it's a nickname. That's a nickname. I mean, I don't think anybody calls it Piss Alley, to be honest, but hey. Oh, that's a very interesting fact there, Blue Sky. Have you been in Gunma? Yeah, in fact, like I've just said, Kusatsu Onsen is in Gunma, so, and it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. Right, guys, I think I'm gonna. Oh, open 10, 11 till late. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I'm gonna start closing things up. If you do have anything to add, any last minute questions, then let us know now so I can try to address them. And if not, you can always go over to the Discord. And don't forget to check out my latest video, The Dark Side to Japan's Trains. There's a lot there. It's seems to be doing okay as a video, which makes me very happy because it's not my traditional normal like video. Sort of dying down now, but the dark side of Tokyo's trains. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Makwa, that's a good question. I think that each city or each region has its specific cuisine that you should research and check out when you're there. Don't miss out on the specific cuisine of each place, you know? Is it tattoo friendly? I'm not very sure. No problem, JJ. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks so much. And also, thank you so much to Lord McGray for that super chat earlier on. And thank you so much to Japan Ichiban for the super chat. Once again, much appreciate your support because really it's you guys who help fund the channel and help me put the content together. Or else I just wouldn't be able to do it, to be honest. So, where's the chat gone? Oh, here. You're welcome, Laurie. Thanks for the info on the stream. You're welcome, Erica. Have a good day, evening, whatever. Where will you be going next in 9 weeks' time? I'll be going to all across Japan. Basically, I'm going down north Ise to Hiroshima, and then I'm going back round many places in between, back to Tokyo, flying to Hokkaido, and I'm actually going to be going to the very north, to Wakanai in Hokkaido. Thanks to Elf Mage for their donation too. I haven't seen a donation from Elf Mage. Sorry if I missed a donation. Elf Mage, I haven't seen any donations. Where's that donation? Japanese Japan? Elf Mage, thank you so much, but I haven't seen it. Hasn't appeared to me for me at all, which is very strange. Why hasn't it appeared? Oh, thank you, Elf Mage, but why hasn't it appeared here? This is really annoying me now. Elf Mage, arigatou gozaimasu. Did you do it through Elf Mage Magic? I can see that, but was it done? How did you do it through PayPal maybe? Because I'm not very sure. It hasn't appeared anyway. Arigatou gozaimasu. I didn't see it. I should be keeping an eye on the donation box. You see, that's why I have some awesome people, moderators here to spot these little things. But I think, no, but I'm here in my chat. I can go to funding, and it shows me who's donated, and Elf Mage isn't there. It's really weird. Very strange. Anyway, much appreciate it, dude. You're a great speaker. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Anyway, guys, take care. Stay positive. Be happy, Gaijin. See you in the next one. Bye.